Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to start off this episode, this video, with a story of me a few years ago in my development journey. I was right around when I switched from being a VFX artist to just solely a modeler because I felt that it resonated with me more. But even though the work I provided was okay, it was up to standards at the time, I produced way less of it than the quality was worth when I was doing commissions. I used to procrastinate almost daily. Every single time I took a commission, I would wait a day or two before I even started with the commission, even though I had the opportunity to immediately go to my PC and start just like this and finish in maybe a day or two, depending on the quality of the assets that were needed. If this sounds like you, taking too long to finish your commissions, your commissioners banging at your door for their assets and you just ghosting them, then this video is exactly for you. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner, it doesn't matter if you're intermediate, it doesn't matter if you're a professional on Roblox. When it comes to development, you have to provide not just quality assets, what you're being paid for, but assets in time within your deadlines. It's about making the impression if you have the opportunity to. Now, this won't always happen. Sometimes it takes time to complete things. But if you're able to outwork the expectations of the person you are working for, if you really wanted to, you can finish a commission in a day. Think about it. Not the big ones, but in general, you could make that model today. Finish it, rig it, texture it, do everything. Today, by the end of today, by midnight, you could be done. So, the few things that we're going to get into, and the first thing is one of the most important things that helped me when it comes to productivity. And that is the concept of eating the frog. Now, this may sound dumb to most of you. What do you mean eating the frog? Why would you eat the frog for productivity? What frog am I supposed to eat for this? It's a metaphor. If you were served a nice Big Mac, for example, and right next to it was a frog, and you were told that it doesn't matter in which order you eat it, but you had to choose a order to finish both meals. And we're talking about a live frog, like they just caught it outside. They put it on your plate for you to eat. And then you have your Big Mac. Would you rather eat the Big Mac first, enjoy it, and then get to the frog, and then you have to eat it down, shove it down your throat? Or would you first get to the frog, get it out of the way, and then enjoy the meal right next to it? You're obviously going to eat the frog first. Now, I want you to apply the same concept with your developing. It doesn't matter what niche you're in. I want you, the moment you wake up, fasted, which means you don't eat anything. I don't want you to go wake up and eat sugary cereal that's going to give you brain fog and not only make you produce lower quality of work, but you're going to take longer to complete it because you're thinking slower. See, I'm not going to get into the sciences behind this. You can look this up. I don't want to waste your time. But once a human eats, you would be surprised how much energy the human body uses on just digesting food. If you want to try this, wake up one day, don't eat anything and work for like an hour, maybe 2 hours immediately. If you're in school, try a Saturday morning, for example, and see if this works for you. But I want you to then the day after, if you have the opportunity, to wake up, eat like a big bowl of cereal and see how you feel and work. And I guarantee you, your work is going to be slower. You're going to feel slow. You're going to feel like there's this haze in your brain. And this is not what we want. We want you to attack the task relentlessly so you can produce the highest quality possible for the person you are providing it to. Now, getting back to the thing, if you're in school, you have two options. A, you wake up before school and you do the deep work, the eating the frog. Now, there's nothing wrong with not doing it before school but after school in this situation if you're doing commissions regularly. But if you have the dedication and if you have the discipline, which not a lot of people actually have on this platform, you can do it beforehand. You just wake up and you work an hour or two before you get ready for your studies. That's it. Now, if you're overthinking this and you're thinking it's going to be difficult, it might definitely be. But think about it like this. You did 2 hours of work. You go to school, you do your homework, and let's say it's late then, because I understand some of you have school to a very late time. So let's say it's 6 p.m. And if you really went into it and it wasn't the biggest commission, or even if it was, then you could look back and like, okay, I already worked for the day. I got a lot of progress in. Let me focus on a few other things I have to. Right before bed, I can get an extra hour or two, and then I'm done. If you don't want to do this, then I want you to go to school, do your homework immediately. Don't wait for your homework later. I wanted you to get it out of the way. You could eat real quick, do your afternoon things, activities that you have going on. The moment you are done without taking a break, shower, clean yourself up, and work. The moment you start coming up with excuses and coping about this, the longer it's going to take you to realize that you're just delaying the work that you have to do. And I understand that a lot of people take up development as a hobby, but you can truly become successful in this niche, but only if you make the difference and only if you can provide your work on time. Who is going to hire you in the future, in the next few months, in the next few weeks, if you get commissioned for a hat model and you take a week to finish it? Who is going to commission you? No one. So make this difference. I'm talking out of experience, like I mentioned. You can look at my Discord server. I have 5 years experience on this platform. Look at my homepage video. This is trial and error. This is not some page that I found online saying this is what you're supposed to do. This works. If you don't believe me, I want you to just try it. My goal is to build trust with you. If I can build trust with you, then I can help you even more in the future. So I want you to try this. Now, let's say you're in the beginning stage of trying it and you don't quite have the discipline to do it and go through with it every single time. There's this other method called the 3-2-1 method. And this is very self-explanatory, very simple to incorporate, very easy to incorporate into your work when you're procrastinating. Let's say you were working, you got distracted on a YouTube video on the side, and you notice it. I want you pause the video or close the tab, that's even better. Count from 3 to 1 and then go to work. If you're on the bed scrolling and you're distracted, do that. If you're outside doing something you're not supposed to, do that. The faster you get the work that you blocked out for the day out of the way, the easier life is going to be. Now, in some cases, some of you might even say that you're night people, but you still doom scroll for 5 hours before you get to your work at nighttime. And then you sleep at 1 a.m. and then you have to go to school the next morning. You have to wake up at 5 or 6, depending where you live in the world. What night person is that? That's just procrastination. The amount of people that can actually survive on a small amount of sleep is a very small number. Sure, there's people that are more inclined to stay awake for longer periods of time than others. But at the end of the day, how productivity works is the baseline when you wake up is the highest, fasted. That is when your productivity is the highest in the day. The moment you start absorbing other information, spending energy on other tasks, and eating, you're just gonna give yourself brain fog and your concentration is gonna go down. Why do you think in school, the classes you have at the end of the day feel slower? You usually do less in them, like points wise, you work slower than the ones in the beginning. Sometimes, yeah, fine, you want to just get out of school, you want to go home, but it's more of the state your mind is in and your brain is functioning in than that. And the last point I want to make, and this is the second most important thing, maybe the most important thing now that I think about it in this video. This alone, without incorporating anything else, is going to make you perform better. I myself take breaks throughout the day. I'm not saying you shouldn't take breaks. I'm saying you should take breaks selectively so you can be more productive, okay? Quit doom scrolling, period. End of the sentence. That's it. If you're eating and you have a 10-20 minute break, fine, go scroll. It's okay. Stop opening your phone the millisecond you have nothing to do. Period. People not in just in my generation, before us, the younger people, I would say 30 and younger in general, we tend to just get distracted by these things because we're so used to just getting the hit of dopamine and attention that that's just how we function these days. What do you think that does with your productivity? I once realized this when I was supposed to be doing a commission. I was actually just scrolling through YouTube Shorts. An hour and a half went by before I noticed anything. I didn't even notice an hour and a half went by before I noticed I had to finish the commission. There's no argument against this. You're distracting yourself by doing it. That's it. The way I'm laying out these videos is so you can learn. I don't want to get the subscribers that just want the dopamine hit. If you're one of those people, please just, I don't even know if you can do this on YouTube, blacklist my channel permanently. Please. Like, I want you to do that because I don't want you in my following. If you can't do these things, I'm not saying you're supposed to follow like everything I say. But if you can't try this at the very least, be open-minded to actually try to improve, leave. Because you're gonna fail. That's it. If you're not ready to optimize this, and you're going to get to a point in your development career, in life in general as well, where it's not always about making the higher quality work, it's about optimizing the current work you produce. If you're the best modeler on the platform, but you take a month to make a model, who's going to hire you? No one. Zero. Okay? That's it. Whether you follow this information or not, up to you. But I hope you learned something. I hope you're open-minded enough to actually try these things, because I guarantee you it's going to work. In the next video, we're going to talk about something very interesting. And because this is my first video, I would like to say something that I'm going to put on the table really quick. You can click off if you want to already. It's up to you. Go on with your life. I don't want to waste your time. I will be posting daily. That's it. Daily. Something not a single other development YouTuber does. Period. Every single day there will be a video on this channel. So join the journey before you miss